All right, y'all, I'm back. I tried to do an overlay on this thing because I was not trying to come on camera because my lighting is a mess. It is, if I don't get this lighting right, it's like I'm in somebody's basement being held hostage, child. So I was like, let me just go on and do some shit, with my overlay up there. But I clearly don't know how to work that stuff. But that is all right because let me show y'all some stuff that I found, okay, that I think is really interesting. It's interesting for me because it adds to, all the body of work that I'm creating to share with y'all on Thursday. And I also found some really cool YouTube channels, y'all, okay, that I wanted to share with you that are really nice. Oh man, there was this guy who, hey, L Style, how you doing? There was this guy that I looked at the other day. He did an interview, and oh my goodness, it was so amazing. I'm gonna show you who it is, okay? But first, let me try to share this damn screen again. Listen, I need a team. I need a team, okay? Here we go. All right. So first of all, I want to let y'all know about my Patreon. I know I've mentioned it before here, but I'm gonna mention it again, okay? Because let me tell you something. I'm working on a job right now. Actually, a couple, not just one. And I'm working with people. Now, these people are very intelligent. They got all the certs. They got all the technical know-how. I mean, they're just they got it right. But when it comes to social and emotional intelligence and communication skills, they're like a brick. Like the bricks you use to make a brick house or the bricks you throw at somebody, they're like a brick, okay? And that's not, I mean, we can't, all the technical know-how won't work if you have no intelligence. No social and emotional intelligence. I'm just telling you like it is. I don't know if y'all know people like that or not. Hey, Professor Black Ops, how you doing? But the social and emotional intelligence is lacking. Okay, not just in this area, not just with the cybersecurity and the IT folks. It's lacking in other places too. But I mean, I'm working with some bricks, and it's hard to get shit done. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, my Patreon is for soft skills. It's to help people cultivate your social, emotional, intelligence as well as your communication skills. And I have several levels. Okay, I have a couple people on here right now, and I share some really good stuff. Like I really, really do. We really get into it, and so just so y'all know, and tell your friends. Okay. So now let me show you the first thing that I found this weekend. All right. OWASP protective controls. Professor Black Ops, have you heard of the protective controls? I had never heard of this. I know about the OWASP top 10. I mean, I've heard a dozen presentations about that. Nobody ever said anything about not protective, proactive controls. Okay, I had never heard of that before. All right, until this weekend. So, and these are like the controls where up when you for the architects and the developers and all that, like the before you get to the other stuff type things. And they have like one control in here I was reading, like this first one right here. I mean, something so simple, but that it happens, right? And it's like to change, what the hell did it say? Oh, here you go. Verify there are no default passwords in use for the application framework, like admin/password, right? And we know that some breaches have occurred because people didn't change that stuff. Now, let me tell you something else, right? The person who mentioned this, he does a presentation on threat modeling, okay, which I really want to learn how to do. It doesn't look hard, because we kind of do threat modeling anyway. We just don't call it threat modeling, right? But we do that anyway. But he uses that, right? And he had an audience of developers that he was talking to about threat modeling. And he showed them a code and he said, tell me what's wrong with this code, okay? And they gave him different things. And he was like, yeah, that's there. But he said, in this code, there is no authentication, right? And none of them in the audience got that. Now, I don't understand how, I just don't understand how that works. Okay, but I want to find out. All right, but I'm gonna show you who that was, okay? And I actually went to LinkedIn and friended him because all the stuff he's saying is just absolutely amazing. The diamond, is that model of threat analysis? So they're in the CIS checks, are they? Okay, that's good. That's good. I just never heard them. I never heard that term, OWASP proactive controls. And I joined, they're on Twitter as OWASP proactive controls. Okay, so I went ahead to Twitter and I followed them and I posted that I had never heard of that and they reposted it. And it looks like the last set came out in 2018. Okay, which is fine. All right, so that's this one. Let me show you what else I found. Now, last week, I think it was, I put on my LinkedIn. I was like, you know, what's up with the blue team? Why the red team getting all this love? You know, I've mentioned that on this channel already. Oh, attack is another one too. Yeah. That's MITRE. Is that MITRE? Security blue team. Okay, so one of the people that I'm connected to on LinkedIn told me about security blue team, and he hashtagged the guy who owns this company, right? So I'm looking through this, and this is amazing. Are y'all familiar with security blue team? This is some really, really good stuff, right? And this is what I was talking about, where for the red team, you have this kind of stuff, right? But I have not really seen a very comprehensive thing like that for the blue team. And these people have got it together. Like they've even created their own certifications, okay? Yeah, so, you know, in addition to whatever CompTIA and all those other people have. And it looks really, really, really good. And they even have some free stuff on here. So this, along with that OWASP list, I was like super excited about it. Now, this is probably not new to none of y'all, okay, but it is to me. And I was just so excited about it. Adversary tactics, techniques, and common knowledge. Oh, okay, awesome. So that's what that means. Okay, I've seen that acronym, but I didn't know what all that stuff meant. Now I know. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you. All right, so security blue team, okay? And if I remember, oh, and look at what they have. They have a security red team too. And that's what I was telling Dr. Phillips, right? I was like, the red team is actually a part of the blue team, right? Which they are, aren't they? I mean, they're there, you know, to help the organization be better protected at the end of the day, right? So I see them as part, and I'm glad to see that they call it security red team as well. Okay, so the next thing, now I told y'all about this too. This website is so amazing, networking basics, right? And even for people who feel like they know networking already. So let me tell you what I've found is that we come into many folks that I've been working with come into cybersecurity, and there's vocabulary that needs to be understood, right? Because when we say networking or networks, right, or even simple things like models, Ethernet, switches, all that stuff, right? If we don't take the time to define what we mean by those things, you know, people have their own definitions about what this stuff is in their mind, you know? So stuff like this that really gets down to the nitty gritty, okay, when it comes to explaining what these things are, I love stuff like this. So this website is really good. And it has other topics too, but I'm addicted to the networking stuff, okay? Because it's so good. It's really, really, and what is this? What the hell is that? E-tutorials. It's e-tutorials.org. Okay, And I think I may have showed this the last time. All right, look at this right here. Holistic security. Have y'all seen this before? These people are amazing. And I'm telling you, they're like right in line with the stuff that I'm talking about like human rights in cybersecurity. And look at the stuff they talk about. This is more, it's more like cyber psychology. That's what it feels like. It feels like cyber psychology type stuff, which I just absolutely love on every level. Okay. And some of the exercises they have in here are just so awesome. I can't even explain it. Okay. So holistic security. Now I got to them from one of y'all told me, what is your name again? Oh my God. He came up on the screen. He was like doing, he was up late at night doing some stuff. It was like close to 1 o'clock in the morning. What is your name again? I forgot. But he told me to go watch this video of this guy who presented at SANS. Okay. And I did. And one of the things that he talked about, the guy who presented at SANS, was this website. Okay. And I'm so glad I found it. It's just so good. Right. So let me look at the exercises, some of the stuff that I've been looking at. Which one did I use? Recognizing and reacting to threats, how traumatic experiences affect our perception. Doesn't that sound juicy? I'm loving this. I really am. You have to go to this website. I'm telling you, it is so good. It's so good. All right. And we were talking about this today too, how threats online are not the same as threats out in the world, right? How if you go outside, if you walk outside your door right now, okay, and you see a lion, you know, just in front of your door, that's a threat. Like you're going to react to that, right? You're going to react. What is it? Fight, flight, freeze, whatever the hell you do, you're going to react to that thing, right? To that threat. But there can be a lion in front of us on the screen and we don't know it. Okay, we have no idea that, so we don't react, right? We just continue on clicking and, you know, looking at shit and opening stuff like nothing's wrong in the world, okay? Because we don't recognize the threat, right? And that's what, you know, a lot of this is about. And it's so interesting, y'all. I'm telling you, it's just so interesting. Vulnerabilities and gaps in existing practices. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm going to, because I'm going to, before we end this, I'm going to show y'all what I've been working on, a little sneaky peeky, okay? But you're going to get the whole thing on Thursday, all right? Okay, now, what's this next one here? Oh, this was another one, right? This is the Center for Long-Term Cybersecurity at UC Berkeley. Now, they do some of the same stuff that holistic security does, okay? So, and so go look at this one too. I haven't been through all of this yet, but I thought it was, from what I've known about it, it seems really, really great. So go look at this too. You said unless the threat comes from an APT. Okay. What do you mean? So we can recognize it if it comes from an APT? Is that what you're saying, Al-Style? Okay. Okay, now let me show you some YouTube channels, okay? This is the guy that I was telling you about. His name is Chris Romeo. Do y'all know him? This interview is one of the best interviews I have heard since I've been in this field, okay? Things every developer should know about security. This guy, I'm telling you, is just, I mean, his ideas are amazing. They're absolutely amazing. So I put this video on my LinkedIn. And here at the, like the 20, it's not 29, it's like the 2840 mark is where he starts to talk about the critical nature of soft skills, okay? I almost fell out of my chair when he started saying that, because I have not heard somebody in this industry talk so intelligently about the importance of soft skills, okay? Now, Seth Godin, which is somebody that people don't really know in this area, but in learning and development, he's like, you know, the president, okay? Like a whole bunch of people know him. So Seth Godin calls soft skills real skills, because those are the actual skills that are going to get you ahead, okay, or your real skills, okay, or soft skills, which is something that people feel like I don't even know what people feel like, but I'm just telling you from my experience, it's like the walking dead out there. You got a bunch of undead people, you know, with no social or emotional intelligence, and especially in places of leadership. Leadership is crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. What else? What else am I talking about? Yeah, advanced persistent threat. Yeah. Okay. So Chris Romeo, y'all, I connected with him on LinkedIn. He has a website too. I don't know if they have it here. Oh, this channel, Security Weekly. This is a good channel. They have really good interviews. They have good interviews with people, just like Keep It Techie does. They have individuals come in and you know, they ask them really good questions and allow them to speak about what they're doing. Securityweekly.com. Oh no, this is their stuff. See, I made a comment right here. This was such an amazing interview. Chris validated so many things I'm currently writing and talking about on my channel. Thanks so much for doing this. I don't know why I just got 3 comments. This video was awesome. And they got 27,000 subscribers. They need more. I mean, I don't know, something's up with that, but this was really good. So listen to the whole thing, okay? It's really informative, very informative. And here's another channel. Do y'all know Black Cyber? B-L-A-K. Now there's a B-L-A-C-K Cyber, which is what I was looking for when I was trying to find his channel, but I finally got the spelling correct. Black Cyber. So he does interviews too. Keep It Techie, just like you do. And this is a really funny video that he made. Like Beyonce canceled a thing with him and all that stuff. But so go ahead and subscribe to Black Cyber, okay? I'm gonna have to tag him in this video as well, him and the other people. All right. So let me give y'all a quick little sneak peek of what we're gonna be talking about Thursday. Vulnerability as a security control. Now, I started writing this piece about 3 months ago, okay? Hey, Keep It Techie. I've been talking about you. I started writing this piece about 3 months ago, vulnerability as a security control. So I told Dr. Phillips about it, right? And he was like, girl, what are you talking about? Vulnerability. I be coming up with some stuff, and I know he thinks I'm just out there. But listen, let me tell you something. I'm not new to this at all. I am 100% true to this, okay? Research, curiosity, and just finding shit out, that's my jam, okay? That is my jam. That is what I do, okay? I don't pull nothing out of my arse, all right? Nothing is pulled out of the arse, all right? Everything is based on something real and tested and researched, all right? Just so y'all know, okay? I have tons. I'm telling you, if my Trello board goes down, I'm just gonna disappear, okay? I have years of research on that thing, right? So when it comes to stuff like this, that just sounds weird. That's why y'all gotta be here on Thursday, okay? Because you're gonna see vulnerability as a security control. Now, these are the definitions I'm working with, all right? Now you will see, the more you hang out with me, I don't subscribe to what the man has put out there. I don't just automatically accept what's already out there, okay? I don't care who came up with it, okay? If it don't make sense to me, okay, I'm gonna define it differently, all right? So when it comes to this stuff, I got 3 definitions. Vulnerability, which is our ability to decide. That's your vulnerability. You will never harden your vulnerability, ever, okay? Because that's what it is. Your ability to make a decision is a vulnerability, okay? For every person on the earth, all right? That's the first thing. Now, from the book Fundamentals of Enterprise Risk Management, I swear to God, I've read this book like 3 times. I love it. Fundamentals of Enterprise Risk Management. In here, they describe what goes into making a decision. And they talk about these things. Every time you decide, I don't care if it's to have fish or chicken or who you're going to marry. All right. These are the things that go into your decision. Facts, opinion, now yours. The facts that you have, your opinion, your beliefs, your assumptions, and your feelings. Every single decision you make are composed of those things. Okay, that's the first thing. Security is the feeling and state of being free from harm. Okay, that's what we get. That's what security is. And I love how there was a presentation that I watched from he was a former hacker, like he did it, a black hacker or whatever. And but he started doing it for better reasons, right? Oh my God, his presentation skills were awful, but his information was nice. It was really good. But he talked about how security was a feeling, and it was just really, really good, right? Okay. Control. This is my definition of a control. Any constraint placed in a system to guide, impose, or influence a certain behavior. That's what a control is, okay? In any circumstance, whether it's the controls you have in your house about what time we got to go to bed, how much money we spend on entertainment, like whatever you put, in your house to help guide and influence behavior, or that's a control. And it's the same anywhere you put it, okay? It's a constraint to guide or influence behavior. Now, behavior is from choice theory, okay? And this is very interesting because choice theory used to be called change theory, right? But the guy who came up with it changed it to choice, okay? Which goes back up to what a vulnerability is. Y'all see how this connection is here? And total behavior is a part of choice theory. So every behavior that you have is not just action. Your behavior is not just action, okay? According to this theory, your behavior is made of action, feeling, thinking, and physiology. So it's like 4 tires on a car. Whatever you're doing, whatever we can see, action is the part that we actually see, right? So that's why we feel like behavior is what you do. And it is, but it's not all of that makes up behavior. So what you do is always followed by these other 3 things, just like all the tires on the car turn the same way at the same time, okay? They're all followed by feeling, thinking, and physiology, which is what you feel in your, your physical body type thing, okay? And again, that's some choice theory. So these are, I'm just prepping you for Thursday, okay? These are the definitions. Now, I have a whole, it's not a paper, but it's an article that I'm going to go ahead and put on my LinkedIn, but I'm also going to try to have it published in one of these online cybersecurity magazines. I already have something published on diversity in cybersecurity in an online magazine, so I'm going to try to get this one in there too, or somewhere else, I don't know. But I'm also creating a presentation about it as well. Because vulnerability as a security control, I mean, there are a lot of implications for that, all right? And this does go somewhat into what I showed you earlier. Where is it? Let me show you again. It goes into this a little bit, right? This holistic security stuff which is like a cyber psychology type thing, right? But very practical, very, very practical. Carl Jung. Thank you, L Style. Yes. Absolutely. Is that a branch of psychology? Yeah, and it's really new. I found out about it like, I don't know, like 4 months ago, right? Somebody on Twitter was talking about cyber psychology, and I was like, what the hell is that? I've never heard of that. So I looked it up, and it's a thing, and I was actually able to talk to somebody on Twitter who does that. I believe she lives in Iran or something like that. I don't know. She's somewhere over there. But it's very interesting stuff. Okay. All right, so that's all I wanted to show y'all today. Again, if you know some bricks, that need a little bit of work with their soft, their emotional, social intelligence, send them over to my Patreon, okay? I'm not expensive. It goes from $1 to $25, okay? Oh, you're leaving L Style? Thanks for being here. You're gonna have to come up on the screen one of these days. Okay. I would like to talk to you. Okay. All right, yeah, so that's all I have for tonight. I just wanted to show you some of those gems that I have found. Very, very interesting stuff. And I'm going to do that too, because I do a lot of research. I'm going to have to open my Trello board for y'all to see, okay? Because I got so much stuff on there. It's not even, hell, that is everyone I work with. Everybody can't be a brick professor, okay? I'm telling you, and it's so sad. Like, right? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. So at my last job, the people I work with were um, so mature, when it came to social skills. And I don't know if that's because I was in the learning and development area, and we kind of have to be almost, you have to be tuned in to other people's reactions and responses, and you have to be attentive to that kind of stuff, right? With the things we did. And I don't know, it seems like in other professions that's not seen to be as important. I guess, but it is. Like, it really, really is. It really is very important. Yeah, so we're about to read another book. I already had a book club with The End of Jobs. If y'all haven't read The End of Jobs, you got to do that. That book is amazing. Like, it is so amazing. And I posted something the other day. This person wrote one of the saddest things I have read. It was in one of my cybersecurity groups. Okay. Let me see if I can show it to you. I mean, it was just so, and I blocked out the name. Okay, I blocked out the name. Let me see if I could, just real quick. And it was very sad. Like and I've seen these. Oh, here it is. I titled it Experience or Bust. Okay, let me show it to you right here. This is what this person says. Okay, they say, now this is on my Patreon, okay? Now I blocked out the face and all that stuff so you wouldn't see who wrote it, but why is it so hard to get experience in the IT field if no one is willing to give you a chance? I have AAS in information technology and have the following certifications: MTA Server, LPI Linux, CompTIA Server Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus. Can someone give me some advice going after CompTIA Network Plus right now? Have a professional profile and resume on LinkedIn. I'm at the point to give up trying to work in the IT field. I think this is really sad. Look at all these certifications, okay? And what do y'all think about this? Like, what would you tell this person? Now I'm not gonna, whoever wrote this they got a lot of comments and a lot of advice from people. Some advice was, start at the help desk or whatever. Like, I'm sure this person is trying to start at the help desk. Another person wrote kind of the same thing where she said she'd applied, and I know she wasn't exaggerating. She said she applied to 103 jobs. And she was at the point where she said, I will take anything. I don't care what it is. I will take anything, Now, which is so incongruent with what we're hearing about how cybersecurity jobs, there are not enough people to fill the jobs. And, it's like, well, that can't be, something's wrong here. Because on one hand, you telling me there's a shortage of talent, okay, for cybersecurity. And on the other hand, I'm getting real world, things like this on a daily basis, What's the disconnect? Seriously, what is the disconnect? What the hell is going on? Now, I would need to talk more to this person to find out more details and all that. How old is the person, male or female? What is the race? I don't know how old they are. It's a male, and I'm not sure what the race is. He has a little bit of melanin, but he may be Hispanic or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. And from the writing, I don't know, like if English is their first language, or they want people with experience. I mean, that's what. But how do you get that, Professor? How do you get? Like, and now the way I got it was I volunteered. Okay, I volunteered at a nonprofit over here who needed help with cybersecurity stuff. That's what I did. To get some experience, which is something that I've offered. As an option for other people. Just find out what. I guarantee you got some nonprofits in your community who need some help with cyber. They probably don't even know they need help with cyber, but they need it, okay, in some capacity. And I also spoke with my local communities, IT. Like I went and I met. So I'm in Prince William County, right? So I met with our county CIO, right? I just reached out and I said, listen, can we have a meeting and I can talk to you about some stuff? And we did. That's before before Corona Jenkins, reared her ugly head. I was able to go in there and speak to some folks. We are in the middle of a pandemic too. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And that works. That's a positive and a negative, right? It's a positive in that a lot more jobs are remote than they were before. But it's a negative for situations like this too, because how are you going to go in and get experience, doing stuff? But yeah, I mean, this is just, and it's every day. Keep it techie. You say you receive emails like this. Sometimes you have to look into moving to a different state. Wow, that's a lot. It is. That's a lot. But I don't know. I mean, this look at the tears coming out of the eye. I just it just really pulled my heartstrings, like it really did. I mean, I just feel so bad for people who are really struggling, And these certifications ain't free. This shit is not free. This person has like, oh my God, look at all these certs, like 6 certs and going for another one, which is why when blacks in cyber, they had that panel with the black men in cybersecurity. It was a great panel, but one of them guys was like, if you can't get the job, just go get another cert. I'm like, really? Is that what you got to do? Is that going to do it? See, and this is why for my resume plus, a resume is not just your paper, what you put on the paper. It is so much more. The same way a presentation is not just PowerPoint slides, okay? It's you too. Like it's the whole package. That's your presentation, right? Your resume is not just your Word document, okay? It's you too. And all of your connections, your social presence, all that shit is your resume, okay? And I don't think many people understand that, Your paper resume is nice, but somebody go to your Facebook and see you, with bongs and shit all up in your mind. That's part of your resume. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would really have to talk to a person. SSA groups in state are security groups that usually talk about local jobs. Okay. And the end of jobs too which is why that was the first book I had for the book club on the Patreon. Because Taylor Pearson, listen, he's preaching, okay? He's not a minister, but that dude is preaching throughout that whole book he talks about something called silent risk, okay? Which is what the turkeys experience before Thanksgiving. You're given food and shelter. You feel like the person feeding you is amazing, until that Wednesday comes, okay? And that person who's been taking care of you, helping you pay your bills, helping you put your kids through college, all this stuff. And the business is like, you know what? You got to go, And he says that's accumulating silent risk because you have no control. You have no control over that. You know, if your boss say you got to go, you got to get the hell up out of there. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, is what they're saying. Okay. Whew. You said my young brothers with blunts are on their Facebook pages. I'm telling you, and people that they don't get it, they don't get it. Sometimes it's those soft skills as well, also interviewing skills. Yes, yes, and we have that as a part, right? This one young lady that we're working with, we set it up, you know, where we were the interviewers and we were interviewing her, you know, to see, you know, how you're able to connect with other people, right? There's a whole psychological component to people, okay, and what we look for, even subconsciously. Okay, now I told y'all I'm a certified hypnotist. Okay, so all this subconscious shit that be happening, okay, I make note of that. All right, and I incorporate it as much as I can into the things that I do, right? Because I'm aware of it. Okay, and this is just about making others aware of it. Okay, we know what's up. Okay, but we're just, it's not on our radar. It's almost like how you know for a fact that moonlight is actually sunlight. You know the moon don't make its own light, right? That's the sun shining on the moon that makes the light, right? You know that. You learned that at school, but you kind of forget it, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way with the way that we interact with each other. Like, you know certain things, but you kind of forget it, you know, but you got to start remembering that stuff again, because that has an impact on things like this, on getting jobs and getting opportunities and access to stuff. Okay. You have control. You need to notional interview every 6 months to know your worth and connect with other businesses. I always freelance, so I'm never surprised. And that's the thing, right? So what he talks about in the end of jobs is cultivating your entrepreneurial skills. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily having an LLC or being incorporated. Okay, you can have exercise your entrepreneurial skills on your job, right? And in your side stuff, right? Because that's what it is. Everybody's always going to have risk. It's not just, you know, entrepreneurs don't have any risk, because they do, but they see that shit. They can see it, you know, and they have, you know, more control. They're able to manipulate things more, you know, in their favor if it needs to be. Whereas if you're on a job, you know, some shit is popping off and you don't know, because they sending you nice letters and, oh yeah, Enron is doing well and we're gonna have a good next year, and tomorrow y'all on the news and everybody being arrested. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gotta tell you nothing. Okay, so you just completely in the dark thinking everything is all right when it's not. Okay, and that's what he's talking about, just what you're talking about. Keep it techie. I'm sorry, Professor Black Ops, right? Is keeping some level of control, you know, and not just, you know, not just preferring that somebody else make your decisions for you, you know, because that's never a good thing, to just let somebody take your decision making and do that for you. You know, that's not a good thing. Brothers are usually the first to go, just like in the movies. Don't we know in the horror movies who's gonna be the first one to die? We know. It's sad, but it's true. The first ones. Listen. Oh my God. So y'all, I just watched Jeepers Creepers, right? I saw the first one, but yesterday have y'all seen that? I watched the second one, and then I ordered the third one. It was like $1.99 on Amazon Prime. That movie is so ridiculous. I haven't even finished the third one, because I start with a lady. She grabbed his hand, like the hand just hang, and she holding on to the hand, just hanging there, looking crazy. I'm like, Lord, what else is on TV? Because oh my goodness. I'm not a horror movie person, like unless it's funny, like scary movie. Scary movie is funny, okay? Like I'll watch that, but I don't, you know, I'm not. I'm just not. I love me some Marvel now. I will watch Marvel all day, every day. Okay. Endgame had to grow on me. It had the first time I saw it, I was like, it was like the end of Game of Thrones. Y'all know Game of Thrones, and I wanted, listen, if I had a rock, I'd have threw, my TV would have been damaged. I was so upset at the last episode of End of Game. I mean, Game of Thrones. They looked like they just rushed that shit. Like somebody said, listen, you got 10 minutes to get this over with, you know, and they just rushed it. I was so upset. I'm like, seriously, like the last 3 episodes were just, it was crazy. It was unbelievable. And I kind of felt that way with Endgame. You know, I'm like, really? This how it going? I had, it's grown on me though, okay? I still prefer Infinity War. And I didn't think Thanos did anything wrong in Infinity War. Oh, listen, I was with Thanos the way I was with Denzel in Training Day. Denzel was a dirty cop. I was on his side till the very end. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Listen, Denzel did some shitty shit, but I was right there with him until, you know, he had Jay go. Come on, I was like, come on, you done gone too far now. Gone too far, Denzel. Okay. I was the same way with Thanos. I'm like, but he didn't want to kill her. Like he was crying and everything. I'm like, he's just trying to make sure everybody got enough food. Like, why y'all mad at Thanos? You know? But I still prefer Infinity War to Endgame. Because and Thanos, he was meaner in Endgame too. You know, he was yeah, but they've grown on me. I love me some Marvel, child. Hey, I don't know how you pronounce that. AYY Suna. How you doing? Thank you for being here. We just chit chatting, child. Yeah, you know, went over all my tabs and stuff. But thank y'all for being here. But yeah, so again, with the soft skills stuff, come on now. We got the Walking Dead out there, the Walking Undead. They're undead. Okay, so you come over to my Patreon and get your life. I send them over there. So the next book we're going to read, we did the end of jobs, and I still have to do my final. Y'all, I was online, let me tell you, for 1 hour. 1 hour, I made this amazing presentation for my last book club meeting for the end of jobs, okay? Because we talked about the 12 leverage points that everybody has in their lives, okay? You have 12 leverage points, and you can choose which one you want to use to further your career or your relationship, like whatever the hell, but we were focusing on career, okay? What is that? Thanos Malthusian theory. What is that, Professor? What does that mean? So, so we were talking about how you can decide which of the 12 leverage points, and one of them, let's for example, one of the leverage points that everybody has is knowledge. Okay, so where are you not getting enough information? Okay, so that if you got more, you would be able to leverage that to help change your situation, right, in some kind of way. So that's just one of the 12. So I go over all of that. It was like 1 hour and 10 minutes, something like that. Child, I finished that thing and I realized nothing recorded. I was so upset. I was so upset. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So now I got to do it again. I'm going to do it again before the week is out. And I'm going to post it on my Patreon, okay? So that they can have it over there. But child, I was not happy. I'm telling you. You said I'm studying for my Security Plus. So thankful I found your channel. There are only 2 other cybersecurity channels I watch. I love how everyone has done different things with cyber. Love watching y'all. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Security Plus, listen. So I don't know if you watched my video about Security Plus or not, but I got my Security Plus because the contracts that I had to, right? Because I already had my CISA, okay? And first of all, they didn't know what the hell that was, all right? And they're like, oh yeah, you got to get your Security Plus. I was so nervous with that exam because first of all, I got Jason Dion's material on because I had to hurry up and get it. I had like 2 weeks to get it, okay? So I got Jason Dion's material on Udemy. And what else did I have? I think that was the only thing I bought was Jason Dion because I already took the CISA, so I knew some stuff already, you know. But I got that. But the thing that really bothered me about the Security Plus, and this is just me because of the way, you know, the way I'm put together, all right, is that I only had, how long you got per question? You got 90 up to 90 questions, 1 minute per question. Child, I was like, I'm not gonna make it, you know, because I need time to think about stuff and draw stuff out, and you know, you ain't got time for that for Security Plus. But answer that question and move your ass on. What you say? Malthusianism. Is that right? Is the idea that population growth is potentially exponential while the growth of the food supply. Look at you, Professor. Educating the masses. All right now. I did not know that. So that's what Thanos was on. Thanos was on some Malthusianism. Okay, that's what he was on. I ordered Jason Dion because you, by the way, thanks. Oh yeah, Jason, listen. Jason will tell you in a minute. Look, I'm just gonna tell you what's on the exam. Get it and move on. All right. Because, and I was telling so that you certify, you know, is another thing that has content and all that stuff, but it's more like what you find in high schools, right? It's very academic. So they got a lot of shit up in there that ain't got nothing to do with the exam. And I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. Show me what the hell is on here, okay, so that I can get this thing and get this damn job. Now, you know, now that I got it, you know, I go back and okay, let's look at this stuff. Now I want to go into more detail with all those other things. Now, if you have time, you know, if you have time, you got 6 months to get it or whatever, I would absolutely recommend, you know, other kinds of things, right? But like I said, I had 2 weeks and I'm a mother of 2 boys here in the house. I got 2 others, but they gone, okay? I got laundry, I gotta cook food, I gotta make sure they put deodorant on, I gotta, you know, all this other kind of stuff, you know, waking up late at night. I told my son the other night, I was like, boy, why you keep getting up at night? He's like a ghost. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, walking up and down the hallway. I'm like, boy, what's wrong with you? He's like, and he's, you know, he's going to the bathroom, he's coming in my room, taking my water off of my thing. You know, he gotta blow his nose. I'm like, listen, something got to happen here. You can't be doing all that because I wake up instantly, okay, with that stuff, and it's hard for me to go back to sleep. I'm like, boy, get your shit together before you go to bed. You know, walking around here looking for water. You know, I'm telling you. So I didn't have time. I had 2 weeks, okay, to get this thing done, and I you know, some of us got other stuff going on, you know, so I need to be able to study just what I need to study. Don't tell me nothing else, just what I need, okay? So I can take this exam and move on, all right, which I did. And are you in Jason's Facebook group? He has a Facebook group that I'm a part of too, where he, you know, he gives questions every now and then and stuff. And you can talk to him directly too. Like if you have a question about something, he's very responsive. Or somebody back there is responsive. I don't know if that's his people or whatever, but whoever's back there, whether it's him or his team, they're very responsive. Okay, if you ask them a direct question, and also the people in the group are really helpful. They're, you know, if you have questions about something. I asked a question in there. I said, what does the A in A+ stand for? Because I don't know. I can't find it. I can't find it. And it was just a random question because I'm just wondering, what the hell is A plus? What is A? You know? And I Googled and Googled, I couldn't find shit. So somebody said, what did they say? They said that A was for applications. They said applications plus. One of the people said, I was like, okay. I mean, I like whatever. I was just wondering, right? And then Jason came back and said, no, it's not. That don't mean no applications plus. He said A plus means when you go to school and you get an A plus, you got it right. He said that's what A plus means. It doesn't mean, A doesn't stand for anything. It just means A plus, which is weird as hell to me. But I was like, all right, like whatever. Okay, you know, that's weird, but okay, you know, all right. Yeah, but that's a really good group. It's a very good group. Also, Women in Cybersecurity is a really good group on Facebook too. And you don't have to be a woman, you know, to sign up. Just like Blacks in Cybersecurity, you ain't got to be Black to sign up or to be a part of the group. Okay, it's just to bring attention to, you know, a certain population that's underrepresented. You know, women and Black people in cybersecurity. So those are really great groups as well. And I'm sure there's a lot of other, you know, good stuff going on out there, but those are the two that I first became members of when I came into the profession, and they've been so useful. I found contract jobs, okay, from Women in Cybersecurity because I came from learning and development. And that's another thing too, speaking about a resume and your social presence, right? If you got something to say, then you need to say it. That's what I find, okay? I had my public speaking coach. I had a public speaking coach like 2 years ago, right? And I found him on YouTube. I was looking at something and I was like, man, I really like this guy. So I reached out to him, right? I mean, he was absolutely amazing, y'all. He's dead now. He died of cancer like 2 years ago. But he was the best, I mean, coach that anybody could ever have, right? And his writing was all about speaking, right? And he said that anytime you're speaking, that's public speaking. I don't care if you're speaking to one person, okay? It's public speaking, okay? And he had a whole system, and I still have the material. You know, I'll probably put some of it on my Patreon to share, because public speaking, that's a really great skill to have as well, right? And it's because it's not just to an audience. When you have an interview, right? Keep it techie. When you have an interview with somebody, that's like public speaking, right? And the thing that people look for, and this is kind of like what I was just talking about with the moonlight actually being sunlight and us knowing that, but, you know, not really giving it attention, right? The thing that people really look for in an interview, okay? The main thing is not your skills. It's not your, you know, how many certs you got and all this kind of stuff. What we intuitively look for is that you are genuine and authentic, okay? That's something that's, what do you call it? It's like a natural thing that people look for. It's called the uncanny valley. Look that up, the uncanny valley, okay? So there was a cartoon that came out some Christmases ago. Tom Hanks was in it. The Polar Express. Have y'all seen the Polar Express? Now, when you read about the Polar Express, they may have it on Wikipedia. This write-up about it. That cartoon did not do as well as it could have because of something called the uncanny valley. All right. Now, when I saw the preview of the cartoon, I didn't know it was like a happy Christmas type thing, because the people, they looked really dark. Like the expressions of the characters, it looked like something dark, like a dark comedy type cartoon thing or whatever, you know. But they say in the article, the reason why it did not do as well is because the animation was not good enough. Like the animation caused people to enter their uncanny valley. So the uncanny valley in a nutshell is when you are weirded out by things like clowns. Some people are scared of clowns. Some people are scared of dolls, you know, even robots. Some people don't like, robots and all that, dead bodies. I know I've mentioned this, before here, but so that's your uncanny valley, okay? And what that means is I have a certain expectation of what a person is, okay? Like I know how a person is supposed to speak, supposed to move, and all. Now, if I see a baby doll that looks a lot like a human being, but it's not talking or moving, that shit is weird, okay? It's just you naturally, you like in you, like a natural revulsion, arises in you, right? When you meet your uncanny valley. Everybody has their own threshold, okay, for the uncanny valley. Like I'm good with clowns. Clowns, I don't give, clowns don't bother me at all, right? But some stuff does, bother me. And that's the same thing when you're in an interview with somebody, right? Or when you meet somebody for the first time, or like the leaders on your job, right? It's like, you know what? This person, they speak to me a lot. They say good morning. They're very nice, but there's something about them. Have you experienced that before? The person, they like the stuff they're actually doing is okay, but you can tell something is not right about this person, right? That's your uncanny valley being activated, okay? You don't want to do that on your interview, okay? You got to be genuine. You have to be you, because the other person, just like you're able to sense it, the other person can sense it. There's something. She told me all the stuff. Her resume was perfect, but there's something about her or him. There's something about them. I don't know what it is, but we gonna move on to the next candidate. Okay. So that's really what people are. I mean, as people, right? That's the primary thing that we look for. Okay. And we're it's subconscious. We don't even know that that's what we're looking for, right? To be with somebody, to be across from somebody, communicating with somebody that we feel comfortable with. Like this person is real. So the thing about integrity, right? Integrity is not that you tell the truth all the time. That's not what integrity means. Not really. Integrity means you are like, you're the same. Like you're not hiding nothing. You're who you are, right? You're integral. Okay. Now I use this example all the time. My brother can't keep a secret to save his life. To save his life, if his life was in danger and somebody said, hey, listen, you will survive if you keep this secret, he'd die because he can't. He can't do it. Okay. And he'll tell you he can't. He's like, listen, before you tell me this thing, this has to be something that you will be comfortable with other people knowing. Okay. He will tell you in a second because he knows he can't keep a secret. Okay. Because of that, because I knew that, right? The first, when I was pregnant with my first child, first of all, I wasn't supposed to be pregnant because I wasn't married. Okay. First of all, I wasn't supposed to be having sex. Okay. Because I was a Christian girl. And Christian girls who are not married don't have sex. Okay. So that was two things. So of course I'm scared. I ain't gonna tell my mama that I'm pregnant. I can't tell her that. But I'm keeping the baby. We're having the baby and all that. So she gotta know. She has to know. So what do? I call my brother. I said, Gary. His name Gary. I said, listen, don't tell nobody, okay? But I just found out that I'm pregnant, okay? I said, please don't tell my mom, okay? Knowing the whole time, listen, I didn't have the phone on the hanger good before I got a phone call. Girl, your brother just told me are you pregnant? I said, Mom. I couldn't tell her directly. I could, you know, I didn't want to break my mama's heart. You know what I'm saying? But because my brother has integrity, okay, he is the same. I knew what to expect. That's integrity. I know what to expect. So I knew exactly who to go to. Okay. And that's the thing, right? If a person is a jerk, you know, but they let you know, like, you know, how that there is no surprises. There's no surprises. Okay. That person has integrity. All right. And that's what we're looking for. You know, in your interview, you need to show some integrity. Okay. And that's why listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this one more story, okay? Because I know this, you know, this ain't cyber stuff. I'm just talking. I had this leader, okay? He was so nice. Like, he really was so nice. But I could not. Oh, child, he would come by my desk like every morning and just say good morning to everybody and just be so, oh, how was the weekend? Da, 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 da. I wanted to hide under my desk every time I heard him coming down the hallway because it just, it didn't feel true. You know, when it felt very obligatory. You know, when people do things because they feel like they have to, you know, that's the way it felt. Now, it may not have been that way at all. I may have been 100% wrong. Okay. But that's what I got. You know, that's what I got. When he, you know, like, I'm here not because I'm really, you know, excited to see you and I really want to know what happened during the weekend. And I really, you know, it was like, you know, I'm a leader and this is what leaders are supposed to do. And I got to do this every day. And the book said, at least ask these many questions. Like, that's the way it felt. Okay. I would have rathered, you know, for him to, you know, to do something more him, like that he normally always does, you know, because like I said, you could feel that stuff. Like, people can just feel that stuff. Like, they just can. Okay. We're that's the way we're built. Okay. To be able to detect those kind of things. Now, some of us ignore it. You know, we ignore it, you know, when we feel like we have to, but I don't ignore that shit. I don't. I really don't. I don't. And he knew, you know, I let him know I don't feel like this is genuine. Okay. Now, he assured me that it was like which is okay. I let you know what I felt, and you told me what you did. So I'm like, okay, you know, I got to accept that. So, but he did stop coming to my office as often. Now, that may have just been me. I just may be a bitch sometimes, you know, like, okay, well, I just, you know, which is fine, but I had to. What I've learned over the years is to tell the truth. That's what I've learned. Okay. Because, you know, and if you can't handle Cheryl, you know, as I am, then, you know, then you need to, you know, find some other, you know, place where you can handle it. Because I can't, you know, I'm 45 years old, child. I got like 15 minutes left on this earth, probably. You know what I'm saying? Hey, who got time for that? Who got time for that? All right. All right, I done talked y'all's ear off. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate you. I am so serious, okay? So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And you have to be here on Thursday. Listen, this is some groundbreaking stuff. All right, we are going places, okay? I'm gonna need you to be here front and center on Thursday, all right? I appreciate every single one of you. All right. And we're going to have some stuff going on because I want to share some prizes and gifts and all this stuff with you guys. Okay. So we're going to have some fun on this channel. And I'm going to see you back here next time. All right. So y'all have an amazing night. I'm going to put these links in the description, okay, before I go upstairs, so y'all can, go visit some of the things I showed you. And we're going to chat again on Thursday. All right. So y'all have an amazing night, and I will see you back here next time.